The blue, they look so much better than the old walls.
Yeah. Let me see. This is January 13th, 1982. Joe Todd interview with Jody Herford.
Yes, Jody Herford.
Miss Herford, when were you born?
Where was I born?
When and where?
I was born in Gallatin, Tennessee. And about, well, how many years ago? I'm 85.
Let me see. You're born 1897.
Yeah,
85 years old.
that's right.
And when's your birthday?
October the 16th.
And what's the name of the town you were born in?
Gallatin, Gallatin, Gallatin.
Who was your father?
Who was my father? C.V. Chenault. He's dead.
How you spell the last name?
Chenault, Chenault.
And who was your mother?
Elizabeth Carolyn Chenault.
Were they both from Tennessee?
Yes, my mother was a Miss Harsh before she married Papa.
What'd your father do?
He's in the furniture business. Had a great big furniture store in Muskogee.
Did he have a furniture store in Tennessee?
Yes, he had undertaking business in Tennessee.
In Gallatin?
Yes.
What was the name of it?
Well, I don't know, but it was an undertaking business. This could have gone by his name.
Yeah.
Hey, Neil, you roll in to me, please. You're the one that got up there right under me.
Okay. How big was Gallatin?
Oh, it was a little town, about 4,000 people.
What kind of house do you live in there?
In Nashville, two-story house, frame.
Two-story frame house?
Yes. There was 10 rooms in the house. It had the third floor.
Now, was this in Nashville or Gallatin?
That's Nashville.
Nashville.
Now, Gallatin was just a little town, and when I lived there, my father was in the undertaker business. And then later he went into the furniture business. He sold furniture.
Mm-hmm.
He was a dandy little fellow. He made lots of money.
When did you move from Gallatin to Nashville?
Oh, I was about 19 years old.
How come you moved to Nashville?
Well, my father went in business there. He bought out a business from a fellow, a furniture store.
What was the man's name?
Huh?
What was the man's name he bought out?
I don't remember.
Where was the store?
In Gallatin?
No, in Nashville.
Oh, in Nashville? East Nashville, Tennessee. In East Nashville.
Did you go to school in Gallatin?
Yes, sir. I graduated there in high school.
What was the name of the school?
Gallatin High School.
Who was your favorite teacher?
Miss Molly. I see her last name was Brown, Molly Brown. I loved her to death. She was wonderful.
What was your favorite subject?
History. I knew a lot about history then, and I enjoyed it very much.
What year did you graduate from high school?
Well, I was 19.
Be about 1916.
I guess so.
How come your parents came to Oklahoma?
Well, my father bought out a furniture store in Muskogee. He'd move around and buy out people's furniture stores, and he would go in business there for a while. And he'd get tired of it, and then move around and get another location.
Do you know who he bought out in Muskogee?
No, I have no idea. I think the people's name was Turner, but I'm not sure.
Oh, somebody. What year did you move to Muskogee?
What year did it move to Muskogee?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I couldn't say that either, but I was 19 years old.
Okay, that'd be about 1916.
Yeah, I guess so.
Mm-hmm. What was your first impression of Muskogee?
Well, I liked it on account of the church there. I had a wonderful Christian church there I went to. I joined the church when I was a little girl back in Tennessee, and then we moved to Muskogee, and I went into the first Christian church there. We were members of the first Christian church.
What was the pastor's name?
Webb.
Is that church still there?
I think so. I got relatives back there. I had an aunt back there, and she died, and then I had another aunt. She's still living, an old lady.
Oh, you have an aunt still living in Muskogee?
No, back in Tennessee,
Oh, in Tennessee.
Gallatin, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Chenault.
How big was Muskogee when you moved there?
Oh, about 50,000 people. I think that's the exact location of it. Amount of 50,000.
What was the main industry when you moved there? Do you remember?
What, the name of the street?
No, the main industry of Muskogee. The main industry in Muskogee when you moved there.
Oh, what I like the best? Is that what you're trying to say?
Now, what was the main business?
Oh, Chenault's Furniture. That's my father's store.
What was downtown Muskogee like? What did it look like?
Oh, beautiful town. I married my husband there. I met him there in the First Christian Church, and he was president of the Endeavor there. And I met him and fell in love with him, and we got married. But I was just still 19 when I married. I went through an awful lot that year. Moved from Gallatin to Nashville, and from Nashville to Muskogee. And it all happened in 1 year. And then I got married. And I was just 19 when I married.
Yeah. What was your husband's name?
Wait a minute. O.P. Herford was his initials. Otho, that's it, O-T-H-O, Otho Herford.
I would like to regress just a minute and ask you what kind of chores did you do back in Tennessee around the house?
Oh, I made up the beds and washed the dishes.
Did you have running water back there?
Huh?
Did you have running water?
Oh, yes, it was modern as it could be.
How about in Muskogee? Did you have running water there?
Yes, it's wonderful.
I guess you would in 1916, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you remember World War I?
Something of it, yes, I think so.
Did you do any work for the war effort during that war?
No. For the what now?
Do you do any work for the war effort in World War I?
No, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. You buy any Liberty bonds?
Yes, we did, quite a few of those.
Mm-hmm. Did you do any knitting for the soldiers?
Yes, I did knitted some sweaters.
How about packing bandages? Did you do that?
Yes, I did.
What else did you do?
Well, I don't know anything. That's just. I made bandages for the soldiers, and I don't know anything else. I don't think so.
Yeah. What was Armistice Day like in Muskogee?
What was it like?
Yes. What was November 11th like in Muskogee?
Well, that was the close of the war, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a dandy little town. Muskogee was 50,000 people. I call it a little town. It's little compared to what Oklahoma City was. Oklahoma City, we moved there. Well, I guess it's several 100,000 people in Muskogee. Still is.
Mm-hmm. Was there a big celebration on Armistice Day?
Yeah, I should say so.
Can you describe it?
Well, they came through the town on horseback. The girls dressed in costumes, and they rode through the town like that, and they had a band, an orchestra. My brother was a musician, and he played in the band there. Phil Chenault was his name. He's dead now. He died 4 years ago. I adopted a little boy. You want to know my life? I adopted a little boy when he's 2 years old. And he lived to be 32, and he died here 2 years ago. Wonderful boy. I took my little granddaughter to raise, too. She stayed with me till she was a great big girl.
Can you describe what Muskogee was like in the 1920s? The Roaring Twenties?
Well, it was a pretty town.
Were there many flappers in Muskogee?
And the flappers.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them.
What is a flapper?
It's a girl that wears short skirts and high-top shoes. Usually button shoes were back home. Isn't that the way you describe it?
I guess. I don't know. How come they were called flappers?
Well, because they were. They weren't modern like they should have been. They were kind of...
That was pretty modern.
I was going to say, that was the latest fad, wasn't it, being a flapper?
Huh?
Wasn't that the latest fad, to be a flapper?
Yes, it certainly was.
Well, how come they call them flappers, though? Do you know?
Well, because they're different from other people. When they became a flapper, well, then they had an organization. They had a bunch of people, and these girls would join that, and they'd ride through the parade in the horseback, and it was really a beautiful parade. And they had flowers following the horses. They had a bunch of horses and girls on the horses, and then here these lovely flowers in a cast thing sitting in the car, and 3 girls, I think it was, rode in there with them. One up in the front seat and the other 2 in the back.
What parade was that?
In Tennessee?
No, in Muskogee.
Oh, Muskogee. I really wouldn't know what to say about that. It was a wonderful parade, though, I can say that.
Yeah. Do you remember the Depression?
Yes, sir.
Did it affect you much in Muskogee?
No, it didn't bother us.
Yeah. What kind of work did your husband do?
He's a bookkeeper and auditor in the accountant work.
He's a bookkeeper?
Yes.
So he had a job during the Depression?
Yes, he did have a good job. Worked for the Capitol.
When did you move to Oklahoma City?
It's hard to say, honey.
Was it in the 20s?
Huh?
In the 20s?
Yes, I guess it was.
Mm-hmm. You know what your husband's salary was in the 30s?
Yes, about $150 a month. That was his salary, but he made money on the side bookkeeping.
What was his regular salary? I mean, his regular job?
What?
What was his regular job?
His auditor and accountant work.
Okay.
He's a smart man and a good man.
Can you describe the dust storms in Oklahoma City?
The dust storms.
Dust storms.
The dust storms?
Yeah.
Oh my, they sound like a million horses coming through the town, flying around, you know. Made a lot of noise. And it scared us all to death. We ran to the storm cellar. That dust storm was terrible. And we got down there in the storm cellar, and then the water came, it rained and pouring down rain, and it rained in the cellar, and we had to come out of there. And I went back into the house, and the only light we had was from the cook stove. The lights were out, and we just had to manage the lights from the top of the stove, you know. They lit the stove, and we could see from that to get around. That's about all I know.
Yeah. How'd you keep the dust out of your house?
Didn't do it very good. You couldn't do it. We tried to keep clean.
Did you try to keep it out?
Sure, we tried. We had storm windows and tried to keep it out. It wasn't as bad as you think, though. It just sounds. Because we lived through it and wasn't worried to death with it when we had it.
Mm-hmm. What about World War II? You do any work for the war effort then?
Yeah, I made bandages for the soldiers.
Anything else?
Well,
Sweaters, maybe.
huh?
Sweaters, maybe.
Swear, yeah, I knitted some sweaters.
Was that in the Second World War?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What about Victory Day in Oklahoma City?
What?
You know, VJ Day in Oklahoma City, 1945. Do you remember that day? When the war ended?
I imagine I do, but I can't recall it right now.
Yeah. Can you tell me some more of what Muskogee was like when you first moved there, what the town looked like?
Well, it was the courthouse was in the center, in a square, called it the town square. And the courthouse was right in the middle of the whole thing.
What else did it look like?
It looked pretty. They had lots of flowers there. They grew flowers. And they always, when people died, they had a lot of flowers for the grave, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They were always furnishing flowers for the grave.
Who were the prominent citizens of Muskogee?
Hmm?
Who were some of the prominent citizens of Muskogee when you moved there?
I don't remember, honey. Well, one out in the Capitol, there were several people working there that were prominent.
Who?
My husband, for one, he was an auditor and a bookkeeper.
Who else?
And C.F. Thomas, that's my brother-in-law. He worked there, and he was smart as he could be. He just died here 2 years ago.
He did.
Lives to be an old man. He was a wonderful guy.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell me more about your childhood in Tennessee?
Did I do what?
Can you tell me more about your childhood in Tennessee?
Oh, it was wonderful. We had, the boys played golf, and then they played ball. And then we went to the stadium. They had a stadium there. And we sit down up there in that thing and watch the basketball, is what it was.
Now, where's this?
Huh?
Where is this?
In Gallatin.
In Gallatin?
I had a boyfriend back in Gallatin that I liked very much, and he was in the ball team.
What was his name?
Charlie Hastings. Hastings. Charlie Hastings.
Mm-hmm.
I still have some pictures of him that he gave me. He was a wonderful fella. I had a life, I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm. How big did you say that your house was in Gallatin?
10 rooms.
10 rooms?
Mm-hmm.
No, that was in Nashville, wasn't it?
In Nashville. I thought you asked in Nashville.
Oh, I'm on Gallatin.
Oh, my house there in Gallatin was 8 rooms. And we didn't keep any roomers. We just had an aunt come live with us, Aunt Sally. She lived there with us, and then we had several men that came there from other places that my father would always let them stay there at the house. Papa was, he was an undertaker and had furniture business too. And so he let some of them come out there and stay in the house while he was there on business. I went to see him one time when he was an undertaker, and I went upstairs where he kept the bodies to be buried. And I saw all of that.
Mm-hmm. What kind of games did you play as a child?
They still played checkers in those days. I played checkers. And in school, I enjoyed writing on the blackboard, you know, things that they give them out to you, and then you get up there and write them on the blackboard.
Yeah.
You know what that was, don't you?
Ma'am?
You know how that was.
Mm-hmm. Who did laundry around the house when you were a child?
Who did what?
Laundry?
Oh, we had a black woman come and work for us. She lived there in the home with us. And she did the laundry.
Mm-hmm.
Washed them and ironed them too. Old Aunt Realty, we called her. And she lived on the place there. They had servants' quarters in the back. She had 4 children, and they all lived back there in Papa's place. Old Aunt Realty and her 4 kids, I'll never forget them. Rosie and Thelma and Selma and Tom. I think that's all I can remember, the children's names. That's not important anyway, is it?
Oh, let me see. Well, I think we have a pretty good interview so far.
Huh?
I think we have a pretty good interview.
Well, thank you.
Anything else you want to tell me?
Well, what else you want to know?
Anything about your childhood?
Oh, I had a lovely childhood. I walked 12 blocks to school every day and back. And I enjoyed it. And in our school days, those days they had the side of fence that went right around, right through the premises where they played ball. And I went down there and played ball with them.
Oh, you played ball with them then?
Yes, oh yes, I was a great ball player.
How did your family move to Oklahoma? By train?
Yes, they did. They all got on the train and came to Muskogee. And this boyfriend that I had, he carried my little brother. He was a baby then. And when they carried him to the depot to put him on the train, And we had a good time like that. And after we moved to Muskogee, and I met Mr. Herford there then and married him. And I quit Charlie. I used to be crazy about Charlie. But after I met my husband, he was in Muskogee in the Christian church there, and he was president of the Endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
And I fell desperately in love with him, so that was that.
Yeah. How long did it take you to come to Oklahoma by train?
Oh, not too long. A day and a half, I think it was. Well, I'm sure it was that much.
Well, we have a pretty good interview, I think.
Huh?
We have a good interview.
Oh, that's good. I sure appreciate you very much.
Well, appreciate you. Thank you.